Group 3 category for BMW GT, BMW Motorsport for a one-going custom race for going on for today on Gran Turismo Sport. So you may know me as Hyperion-Blue-GT champion to get everything started. So looks like one race car is now added in on the September update because this is going to be quite very excited to be prepared for full-on racing category regulations for it. So looks like this is definitely now chosen to be as a Nrburgring 24-hour race car. Maybe like the Le Mans race car version a bit. So they also decide for the Nrburgring 24-hour design for it because it also has that car number in it because it is quite giving an excited chosen since Gran Turismo 6. So looks like I'm about to get ready to go for an all-out Group 3 race to begin. So looks like I'll be able to get started here on the Nrburgring Grand Prix. So this is going to be quite very excited to be prepared. Well, looks like it's time to get ready to drive, and this will be able to be prepared to be precisely will be able to take on board. So maybe unlike the BMW M6 and the C4 race car, so M3 is definitely quite very good to be prepared to get everything back on the track. So looks like I'll be able to decide to get ready to do some 5 laps, and then everything will be able to go pro at it. So this is going to be prepared for a long time for having this race. So probably somehow that most other race cars could be able to be stated as a GT2 race car. Well, maybe it is going to be putting on in the Group 3 category for the BMW M3. So this is going to be quite very good to race with the other Group 3 cars. So this is going to be quite very perfectly to see which one is the best BMW, the M3 or the M6. So this is might be quite giving a little bit of better choice of the differences for each M series models for it. So looks like this is going to be quite getting in for it. Different race cars is now coming in to be all in order for it. So this is going to be quite very perfectly well for it. So definitely the BMW Motorsport definitely has the M livery design in it because it is quite very perfectly go. Unlike the M Power 2016 model of the M6, so this is going to be quite giving you a little bit of showing the differences of the model for it. So looks like it's time to get ready to race on the Nrburgring Grand Prix, and then let the starting grid race will begin. Well, I hope this is going to be quite very excited to take on all the Group 3 cars, and then official race cars could be able to give it and be very prepared for it. Now, looks like this interior view is quite giving a little bit better impressive for it. So this is going to be quite getting a little bit better for all the speed specs for it. Now, let's just going to go on in, and then let's just keep a nice and simple race for it. Well, it always has to be able to give a little bit of better choice of a few quality effects. So this style might be able to be good at it. Okay, so it looks like taking on the racing in, and oh man, that was a little bit of mistaken accident moment. I should probably have to keep an eye out for it whenever it's going on. So I kind of think the BMW M3, BMW M Motorsport was definitely the first statement to be marked as a GT racing car for it. So it is definitely used by the 24 hours of Nrburgring and 24 hours of Le Mans since 2011. Well, I kind of think that similarity design model from Gran Turismo 6 was definitely quite giving a little bit shown for it. But the 2010 BMW M3 GT race car was definitely averred to be as the Le Mans race car. So it is definitely used in the 24 hours of Le Mans back in 2010 and then later on in 2011. But, well, most of the GT players or any other racer fans who really like the different styles of the variant type of models for it. So this is the original design. So I kind of think that they always love the art design challenge because it is quite very cool and impressive because I can't wait to try it out to see what it turns out to be look like. Well, he already knows that they already made it by some other players, was differently used on the library editor. So this is going to be very perfectly to be able to race on the Le Mans course for it. Now, looks like this is going to be going on in again. Just going to have another lap run for it. Okay, looks like 10 gap might be able to give it a little bit better, easier, and harder and done. Okay, let's just give it a little tight squeeze in and watch out for that first turn. It's going to be quite very difficult for it. So, definitely, good thing that it was definitely used based off from the original BMW M3 Coupe. Was definitely quite a perfect sports car to be able to be considered as a race modification vehicle. Well, maybe most like other BMW M3s and Forza Motorsport and Need for Speed ships. So this body style is quite very perfectly to be able to be shown for it, and it's quite race ready to be able to take on some hard opponents, to be able to divide it into, well, maybe in specific type of car class during every race event for it. So it is definitely still to be as a GT2 race car, but it is always to be preferred to be as a GT3 race car, to be able to be divided in for it. Now, looks like this is going to have to give a little bit of going on for. Just trying not to catch up to the two BMW M6 to see how the M3 can also take a lot of hard passes to deal with the other Gr.3 race cars for it. So definitely this is the good perfect model with a Gran Turismo windshield scanner on it. That might be part of the game for it. So looks like it's all Gran Turismo race cars for every game in GT Sports. This will also be coming in for it. But I'm really glad that the M3 GT race car is definitely now added into the game for it. So probably, maybe if the M3, 2 M6, and the C3 GT3 race car can also race in for it, but only in sport mode or the lobby. That would be quite very good to see it, because this is going to be one big BMW Racing Heritage competition with all the GT3 category division types up for it. Now, looks like this is going to be giving a little bit much closer in, just giving a little halfway point. Well, I really think that somehow it takes a lot of hard work to get this M3 to win this race for it. That will be much better for it. Okay, come on. I hope this is going to have to give it a little bit much better for it, because I hope this is definitely a non-turbocharged vehicle, because this is definitely marked on non-inspiration. Okay, let's kick it back up again. Now pass on to the Ford GT to overtake. Okay, not bad. So this might be a very perfect reunion between the M3 and the Ferrari 458. Glad that might be quite very excited to be happy to be reunited for ongoing race. Now, looks like there's the Empower Library, and then the Walking Forest Motorsport is definitely right going in to be in first place. Now, looks like it's all BMW top 3 for having this wonderful moment race. Now, looks like this is going to have to give it a little bit much concentration to give it a lot of better pace to go at it. Second gear might be able to be readjusted for more. Well, probably the center horsepower was definitely by giving a little bit of default. Well, maybe I'll be able to give a little check on in after changing the next course. Okay, stay on it. Second gear always gives a little best chance to do it. Gap distance is coming along nicely to be decreased. Thanks to the second gear, we'll be able to give a little bit much chance to move on in. Okay, here comes the braking points. There's the M-Power library coming in, because this is going to be a one-step epic comeback to be able to show the two BMW M6 that the M3 is coming back on the track. Original M-Power library, then the new one is definitely quite going into it. Well, kind of think that M3 and M6 BMW models was quite getting the differences. Now, looks like almost there to get the walking towards BMW M3 Nrburgring 24-hour race car to be able to go on in. All you have to do is to take a lot of concentration to do a lot more hard pace to do it, because turbocharged versus NA vehicles is definitely quite giving a better hard match for each race car, can also to give it much better chances to view. Okay, here comes for the final lap, and after taking on that hairpin turn, flying corner lead. Then here it comes. This all comes down for having one M3 to take the chance for a golden victory. Okay, so let's just give it a little bit much steeper right turn. Well, I'm always going to have to use the BMW M3 in sport mode or the lobby, because this is going to be quite very good to have that second gear transmission to be able to be adjusted to a prop. That might be quite easier to beat the M6 to win. Okay, so this might be easier for it, because good thing that the second gear is definitely a driving passive ability to go in for. So, looks like I'm getting closer in. Ooh, so much close, but still got a lot of chance to beat the Walking Force Motorsport, because M3 is coming back on the track. Come on, give it a little bit much chance. So, looks like the two car numbers are definitely matched, part of the Nrburgring 24-hour event. Been waiting for too long, folks, because I hope the Walking Forest Motorsport is definitely quite getting a little bit better horsepower. Ooh. Hope this is going to be much better to see to go at it. Ah, bummer. Looks like this is going to be one closer up ahead, and so close. Well, I kind of think that's pretty so much close, and that makes it a silver for the M3. M6 always goes on the first because it has a lot of good horsepower in it. It'll be able to be decided on the last round on the Nrburgring 24-hour track. So, looks like second place earnings might be able to come on in for it. That'll be able to give it a little bit much more GT run to be able to be keeping up and go. So, looks like time to get ready for Le Mans for the next round, because this will be able to decide on the 2-lap challenge. So this is going to be quite very good for the BMW M3 to take on Circuit de la Sarda, because this is going to be quite very good at it. So without the 2010 version of the BMW M3 GT, well, maybe we should probably always stick with the BMW Motorsport. So this is going to be quite very good as the main vehicle since Gran Turismo 6. So maybe I had to decide to get ready to set on board. So I'll be able to go with 2 laps. So this is going to be quite very good. So definitely this is the perfect track for the M3. So since the 2010 through 2011, so this might be very giving the best opportunity to race it again. So this will be able to go race at it again for the returning offer by giving the favor. So looks like it's time to check on in and see if the BMW C3 is going to be in the starting grid list. Okay, so no sign of BMW C3. Still got the usual best rides to be chose. Okay, nothing, but well, maybe I can probably have to go for it because this might be able to give a little bit quick check on it. So definitely the horsepower is definitely almost 500, so this is 499, so this might be very good. So if this is definitely recommend on the balance of performance, that might be able to go with 540, so this is going to be quite good. So maybe I should probably have to stick with the standard horsepower. So transmission gear goes on 6 to be able to be on standard or fully customizable, because this is going to be quite very good for the M3 to race on Le Mans again for it. Now, looks like it's time to get ready for a rolling start. All 20 cars to be able to be lined up. Now let's begin. Okay, there you go. So let's all the new cars to go in and then race on the starting line. Then here we go. Green light is on the go. This is going to be quite very good for the M3 to race on Le Mans again for the returning of the fame. Well, even so, that the Art Library Challenge is definitely quite very good since 2011. So looks like it's time to have that good old BMW M3 to race on the French track again, because this is going to be quite very good to see at it. Okay, so let's give this interior view a try, and see how the handling might be able to go for it. Well, definitely different racing interior styles might be able to show throughout many years for it, and oh man, maybe I should probably have to be very careful to be able to keep an eye out while on the straight. So maybe on the left, it also shows the Nrburgring 24-hour layout track to be able to see. So this might be very good to look at it. Now, looks like this is going to be very good to go and make some few passes for it while giving a little bit on the straight until the Mulsanne corner comes up. So definitely, yeah, it also shows the track on the left when using the BMW M3 Motorsport library design. So this is going to be quite very good to see it. So looks like this is going to have to take a lot of good concentration, to take a lot more effort whenever I should probably have to race on the 24-hour layout track on the maybe just only for one lap until this is going to be might be very good at it. Now, looks like time to give it a little bit of 6th gear to be full speed up ahead. Kilometers by 260, and now here comes the Mulsanne. Okay, good, very good. Hope this M3 can also give him a little bit of track to remember. This is quite getting a long time for having a comeback. on the 90-degree angle right turn, and then time for the Porsche corner and the Ford chicane to also go on in to see how the fast performance can go on for it. Now, time for a little bit of fast pass on the Mercedes SLS. Then, looks like here we go. Porsche corner is on its way. Okay, that might be very good to see this handling style will be able to give it much efficient. Just give a little bit of dive in freestyle turn until you'll be on the Ford chicane at the final turn. Okay, so Ford GT, Ferrari 458 Italia, and definitely Ford Mustang Gr.3. Well, probably, yeah, it is. Are also trying to climb up to see which one should be able to go past on the Nissan GT-R, and oh, that's a penalty for the Ferrari. Somebody called the penalty sign on this Italian GT race car. Okay, here we go. Final lap, and it's definitely now or never. Okay, Ford Mustang Gr.3. I'm just gonna have to make my way over to past that GT-R, and then the BMW M6 are gonna be on its top 3 again. Thank you. Now, looks like this is going to be very closer again. I hope this is going to be quite very impressive to take a 4-gap distance run to catch up with you with the M6. This is going to be quite very perfect for having the M3 for a race, folks. But this is going to have a lot of BMW-tastic fun. Now, definitely the Empire Library always comes in first place to take the winning spot for it. And the Walking Forest Motorsport can also be in second or third place before I'm about to coming at it. Okay, here we go. Just gonna take a lot of more few laps to be able to reach up on 175 miles. Pretty good, much handling to be improved for it. Now, it's like time to take on the Empire Library M6 to be in second place. It's all about taking a lot of competition effort for each 2000 Motorsport, or definitely early 2010 should be able to go on in. Just give us much better, harder to go on do it. Final 1-gap lap. Now this is going to have to take a little bit of long drop distance to be able to catch up. Come on, give it a little bit much deeper closing in because Two M3 really wants to win. Indianapolis section coming in to give it a little bit of fast and proof. Pretty good moment. M3 comes in first place to remastering Le Mans racetrack. Definitely a perfect comeback to see the M6 and also to prove the M3 Motorsport and also the race at it again. Now, looks like this is going to be it. Oh, looks like the M6 really wants to go back on the winning spot. Okay, that's a little bit uneasy going. Let's just give it a little bit of slide turn back in on the inside, and then back on the lead for the M3, and the M6 can also give a little bit of chance to play a little fair competition for only just better performance. This is going to be very much closer in. And ooh, looks like this is going to get a little bit nearby close. One chicane and then pull on over to the checker flag, and then M3 comes in for the winning first place spotlight by having its return. Man, that was a lot of good run for it, because this is definitely pretty impressive for it. So, looks like it's time for the 24-hour Nrburgring layout course for one last challenge, and this is gonna be pretty exciting. Now, looks like definitely a good first place earning might be able to go and give a better chance to do it. So, looks like it's time to get ready to go for only one lap until this will be able to be finishing up for only last of the 8 new rides from the September update. Well, because it is always giving a little bit of high expensive price amount for it, so this will be giving a much better chance to be stacked up to be at the 2 mil again. But currently, I might be able to climb back up to be on the 9 million again, so this will be able to give a little bit chance if this is going to be able to work out. So, looks like time for the rolling start again, because this time you'll be able to go penalty settings to be able to turn on, so this might be able to do very cautiously quick. So mechanical damage is going to be on light. If something else might be very hitting going on, so this is going to have to take a lot of very important risks to be very fragile for it. Now, looks like it's time for another last round, and then same opponents are also comes in by the usual way. And also the top 5 fastest vehicles for each Group 3 categories will be able to go on in. If this might be going to be another BMW M3 Motorsport, that might be able to be okay. But this is going to have to choose a different livery variant, so that might be able to be well matched. Audi R8 is now in for the race, and that's very good. So, looks like sunset time on the Nrburgring, and then this is definitely quite giving the perfect time. Now, here we go, and let's get everything started out. Survive the race for only one lap without hitting any damage on it. This is going to take a lot of very risky on it. Okay, so this time the headlights maybe turn on, so this might be very good for it. Now, looks like this is going to be quite giving all the risk to see how go it is. Be extra careful, because this is all about actual competition to be able to go on in. So this is maybe very good for the BMW M3 GT Race Car, and also the race on Le Mans and the Nrburgring. So definitely it is also to be used since the American Le Mans series. So yeah, we always love that race series that definitely race on in America. GT race cars and Le Mans prototype cars can also to be in this fine competition as well, because this is quite very momentarily for every other American motorsport. Well, maybe IMSA is one of the most best popular race series of all time. But this BMW M3 GT Motorsport was quite actually one of the most popular instances in the early 2010s. So looks like this is definitely currently now in 2018, because we always try to have the M3 to race again. So this is going to be quite very good to meet the Group 3 race cars like never seen before. Okay, out from the Gr.3 and in with the notion of airphase. So this is going to be quite getting a little bit pretty much excited to be able to survive on in. Well, probably it is still a 24-hour race car for the M3, like the other Nrburgring race cars that was also to be participating in this event. Now, looks like this is going to be quite very good with speed added, because gap distance is going to be a little bit increasingly more. So this time the M3 is going to have to catch up to race towards the M6 to overtake. Okay, here we go. Okay, so definitely a little bit of technical problem for it. Well, the chassis is definitely quite getting a little hit effect, so it'll be able to survive it with any means necessary. It'll take more than that to have a lot of concentration. Alright, there we go. Keep launching up that throttle to go back in. Just give a little bit of better precision skill set until this will be all good to be able to make a little steady pass. Okay, that's a pretty good, clever move for the F1 GT2 Race Car. Now, looks like this is going to take a little bit much more runs until all the other Group 3s are definitely quite going on in, and he's currently for only a single position, while the other is going to have to make a little bit of better strategy to make a little bit of clear path. Okay, there we go, opening moment. Better have to watch out, because they're always giving a little bit much better obstacles to be avoided with. Get back in again, and oh man, so close for the Ferrari to get a little bit of caught on the edge. Now, looks like this is going to be a little bit much closer in for it. Nissan GT-R is still currently trying to catch up. Okay, let's give it a little bit of hood cam switch view, and then this will be able to give a much better chance to see it. Okay, that's better. That's quite giving a better view quality effect while you're at it. Okay, pretty much going on for the gap distance to be able yet to be decreased. Big gear is definitely quite coming on in. Oh man. Just gonna have to be very cautiously because don't want to get a little bit heavy damage. Whew. Okay, slow down time might be able to go on in for it. Well, thank you, penalty. I hope this is going to be quite getting a little bit of false alarm check on it. If this is going to be on the no passing zone. Oh man, that is very close. Now, looks like time to get everything focused back on decreasing gaps to catch up to the two BMW M6. Looks like sixth step is definitely coming along nicely. Okay, there's the M-Power library going in. Just give it a little bit much better motivation to represent the 24 hours of Nrburgring back in 2011 for the BMW M3 GT BMW Motorsport, folks. This is going to have to take a lot more effort to go and catching up for some more runs. Okay, give it a little bit of much successful advantage turn. Just give it a little bit of watchful eye on the sunlight because this is going to be quite very close in for. Woohoo, so close because thanks for the apex while taking a little climate effect on the sun. Okay, looks like there's the Walking Horse Motorsport currently in the lead. Let's give that M3 a little bit of push on to give a little drop distance approach. Now, looks like this is going to be a better good quality sunlight effect. Just give it a little bit much more distance and then it's all going to come in the lead. Oh, looks like this is definitely so very close. Almost getting caught up in a major accident and a safe call for the M3 and checker flag win for the third model of the BMW M series. That was a quite good successful 3-race victory. Well, maybe 2-race win. Well, good thing the M3 GT BMW Motorsport did its best because that was a pretty impressive run for having a good segment for it. So, looks like that was a quite pretty good successful for the BMW M3 for a Group 3 racing category for it. Well, I kind of think that GT3 race cars are quite giving the perfect match to be able to be in the Group 3 category division for it. So that will be quite very impressive. So now looks like once more for another BMW M3 to be able to join in for the Group 3 category for the racing division. Well, I kind of think that a 4th time for the BMW brand to be able to have the 2011 M3 GT Motorsport to be in GT Sport for the September update. So this might be very good to see how the M6 and the M3 can also take a little bit of hard racing challenge to go head on for. So this is definitely quite giving a little bit much important fact for having other motorsport race cars for it because the current race cars can also have to race for the other early 2010 race cars to be able to be going at it. So this might be quite very fun to see it. So, looks like I just did all the 8 cars I just tried out for it from Porsche to the BMW. So this is definitely quite giving a good, awesome, excited for having all the 8 cars to be able to try out. But yeah, I'm sorry folks, I just tried to did my best to get one of these high expensive historic race cars to be able to be part on in for. Well, I kind of think I did all the good funs I really enjoyed to have all these cool rides to try out for it. It was definitely quite very good to have a wonderful experience to race for the newer ones for the update comes for it. So folks, glad that you enjoyed for this wonderful video race, you guys. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to click like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. And don't forget the links on the description down below in case if you want to see more to explore about it. So, looks like that makes another fine good Group 3 race for the BMW M3. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time to continuing on in Gran Turismo Sport. And I'll see you there. Keep on racing, stay cool.